Hello! In the last video we talked about subsetting using logical vectors. In this video we'll talk about subsetting using indices. Let's start with vectors. Again, to subset we use the square bracket. Before the square bracket you should specify what you want to subset from, and inside the square bracket should be which elements do you want to subset. The only difference is that instead of a logical vector there, this time we'll have a numeric vector. This numeric vector will specify the positions of the data that you want. For example, if I have a vector x with the following data, and let's say that I want the first and third data point. In that case, I can just use a square bracket, put the want inside, and I can get the first and third data point. Note that what if I want the third, then the first data point? All I have to do is switch the indices around, then I can get the desirable data. One special case is if you have negative indices, what R does is it will subset everything except the positions you specified. Subsetting data frames is similar except that you can subset separately the columns and the rows. For an example, let's use the health data set like the last video. For easier viewing, let's focus only on the first 6 records using the head function. Again, to subset, I have to specify the indices of which rows I want, and then also which columns I want using a numeric vector. Again, to subset, I use a square bracket separated by a comma. Before the comma is which rows I want, and after the comma is which columns I want. From here you can see that we got the first 2 columns, and we got the records in the order the first, the fourth, and then the second record. This is in the same order as the indices that you specified. The negative indices also work similarly. Let's say that I do not want the first and do not want the 5th record, and let's say that I do not want the 5th column. In this case, again I use a square bracket, put the negative indices in the corresponding locations, then R will subset everything except for the indices that I specified using negative numbers. I do not have the 5th column, and as you can see here, I do not have the 1st or the 5th record.